Hello, my loves. I am so sorry I'm a little bit late coming on live. I hope y'all are still out there. I said I was going to start at 11, and of course it's 11:05 because I just had a really incredible meeting with the Department of Zoning in Linn County about buying my retreat center. So, super excited. So if you're here, tell me you're here because I can't see you otherwise. Give me a thumbs up or a love or say something in the comments so that I can see you. I gotta catch my breath. I'm so excited. So, this whole last several months, I've been doing a series about talking about what I think are core tenets to being a Christian and a witch. So hashtag Christian witch. So I really wanted to explore a lot of different messages and different ideas and different ways of thinking about how we think about Christianity, how we think about paganism, witchcraft, how we think about how we shame people for their beliefs, either from a Christian perspective or from a pagan or other belief perspective. And I really wanted to sort of hone in on the idea that we have got to stop shaming each other for how we identify and who we are as human beings. For recent history in particular, we have spent a lot of time defining who we are and defining who we are as individuals and also in our community. And we spend a lot of time talking about and othering each other as a way of sort of, how do I want to say this? As a way of really putting people into boxes so that we can categorize people and categorize ourselves so that we have some way of identification. And one of the things that I've really been learning in the last year is how to start to think about my own ways of criticizing and judging other people, and also think about how that has impacted the decisions that I've made throughout my life to close myself off from expanding into learning more about God and learning more about the Holy Trinity and learning more about the Divine Feminine. And so we hear these terms a lot, but we don't tend to really think about how these categories were actually created to further the Catholic Church and the patriarchal vision of the Catholic Church. And so I have been through a year of a lot of questioning and decided with this series to really put out there some of the things that I've been really grappling with. And so I hope that you've enjoyed it. And this last little bit of things that I want to talk about have to do with my mission. I don't know if this is a solo mission or what the hell this is, but my real core mission to stop using the term self-care and really embrace the idea of using the term soul care. So I have said this before. I think this is one of my soapbox moments, and I'll say it again. I cannot stand the term self-care because I truly believe that it is a privileged position to be able to properly engage in self-care. And so I have really been focused in the last 12 months, if not longer, but really intentionally in the last 12 months of 2019, focusing on soul care and taking care of my soul and thinking about what it looks like to engage in care and feeding of my soul. Because when you engage in soul care, you don't just take care of your body, you take care of your mind, your spirit, and your body, which I think is a little more expansive than self-care. So I also really feel like a core tenet of soul care is about creating community. So I had a young woman last night send me a message, a private message, about an issue that she was grappling with. She was afraid, she was struggling, and she didn't feel like she could go to her partner or her family to talk about the issue. And so she sent me a message on Facebook. And I was thinking about how I have been asking God for obvious signs that I'm on the right path. Like, I want a 2x4 to the face. I want to know that I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing and that I am living out my divine purpose. And this is what I'm doing. And that was one of those moments when she reached out to me last night. And I was thinking about how one of the main things that I think is critical is creating a sense of community around us. And so one of the things that she was expressing is that she didn't feel like she had a community that she could trust or go to talk about this issue. And one of my hopes for moving forward as humans in 2020 is that we start really creating intentional community around us so that we can engage in magic, so that we can engage in healing, and so that we can engage in soul care. So I am hoping that as you are listening to this, as 2019 is ending, that you are thinking about what 2020 is going to look like for you. Because we do that, right? A lot of people start talking about setting resolutions and all those sorts of things and picking your word. That's something I'm seeing a lot on my Facebook feed is, what's your word for 2020? What was your word for 2019? So, first of all, let me be really clear. I do not do New Year's resolutions ever. But as I'm thinking forward to the next year and what I want to accomplish and what I hope to accomplish, one of the biggest things that I'm thinking about is how can we create more intentional community that's not just online, but is actually face-to-face and in person. And so my hope is that I'm going to create more opportunities for people to really connect in community, not just through my online programming, but really through connecting and talking to each other. Because that's when changes take place. That's when we can bridge gaps. One of the biggest things that I learned while I was lobbying and being an activist and an advocate was that the way you make change across the aisle in particular, especially at a local level, y'all, is to connect with people one-to-one in person. And when you do that, it changes the entire trajectory of how you interact with other human beings. So if you are willing to take the risk to engage in soul care, and you are willing to embrace the idea that soul care starts with building a community around you of supportive, loving people that may not necessarily agree with you on everything, but who support and love you in your humanity. And if you can embrace the idea that soul care means that you stop shaming yourself and shaming other people for their decisions and their choices, then I really think we're going to have a revolutionary 2020. And I really think we're going to start engaging in some really phenomenal healing, not just as a country, but as a world, if we can start embracing the idea that self-care is not where it's at. It's an idea and it's great. And if you can engage in self-care, then go for it. But that soul care is the fundamental foundation by which we can operate at a higher level of consciousness. We can engage in our divine assignment in a way that is inspiring to help other people engage in their divine assignment. And we can build beautiful, supportive communities of people who may not think exactly the same way that you do, but who support and love you no matter what, because you're living out that divine purpose. And so I hope that you will join me and continue to join me in 2020 in thinking about ways you can engage in graceful revolution that don't have anything to do with marching or resisting or persisting, but that actually have everything to do with learning about how you want to be in the world and how you want to go out into the world and engage. And that, I think, is going to be the most revolutionary thing we can do, is to think about how we can engage with grace and engage with openness and willingness to be expansive and think outside of our boxes so that we can connect with people who love us no matter what. So I hope that you spend the rest of this time. Solstice is coming up this weekend. Christmas is coming. Hanukkah's happening. There are beautiful, beautiful things to this time of year. And what my hope is that you can take this winter, which by the way is not ending at the end of December. It's going to continue into spring. Take this winter to fall into the winter, to dream big, to visualize, to really marinate in and think about what you want to see grow out of the ground when spring comes. Start germinating those seeds now so that you have the time to expansively explode when spring hits. Thank you all for being a part of my life. Thank you all for being a part of Bird Girl Industries and Natural Born Rebel. Thank you all for supporting me and loving me on this journey, growing this business and thinking big about how I can impact other people's lives is truly an honor and a blessing. And I am really excited to play with you as I continue to visualize how I can build even greater community moving forward, starting next year. So I love you all. Thank you so much for everything. Talk to you soon. Bye.